Hey, hello everyone, and welcome to ShortSalePowerHour.com. My name's Fred Weaver, Kevin Kaufman behind the camera, and I'm joined today by Adam Woodhall, live here from Orlando, Florida.
Yes, that's true.
What's up, man?
Doing all right? How you doing?
I'm doing great, man.
Orlando. It's
Orlando.
hot and so is Adam.
Where have I heard that before?
Wow.
Maybe I should write that down. It's riveting.
Wow, that is amazing. So, just enjoyed a nice dinner here with Adam. Just got done teaching short sale mastery in Orlando, headed back home to Phoenix, and wanted to get Adam on Short Sale Power Hour today because I thought he had one of the more outback solutions to overcoming a negotiation request from the bank, a contribution request. And I mean, first off, like, talk to us a little bit around, you know, why are you in short sales? What do you love about it, man? You know, and then I'll have you tell your story.
Why as you guys are fond of saying, it's look at the end to get back to the beginning.
Yep.
So I wouldn't say I'm a details person, but I like looking at the end and finding a way to get back there. So as you guys harp on a lot, you got to think outside the box, the outback. And there are certain banks that don't even have a box to know where to put their things. So I have to find a way to get the deal closed by any means necessary.
There are certain banks that sometimes I question if they know what a box is.
That's true.
Yeah, just some. So there happens to be a lender who we're going to leave unnamed for today because...
But it's not that one, though.
Well,
it's
no,
a different one.
it's not the unnamed
but
bank.
we're leaving them unnamed, but it's not the unnamed bank.
But anyway,
For the purpose of the story, it's irrelevant.
You were struggling to get a short sale approved, so just tell the story, man, because this is great. I love this.
Let's see. There was only one in place. It was a portfolio loan. The borrower had 4 children, and he was divorced twice. He made a good income, but you can see how you'd be stretching yourself thin on a monthly basis.
Yeah.
His net was probably $7,000 or $8,000, and he really only saw about 2 of it, and that's on top of a pension that he was collecting from the military. So obviously there's natural hardship on financial reasons, and went through the process. There wasn't any big red flags going through. Towards the end of the process, they came and asked for a $25,000 promissory note. Now, with this particular bank, that isn't that uncommon. I had prepared them for it. Not that much, but...
this is a particular bank that specializes in lending to military folks. Okay,
yes,
got it.
That's it.
Yeah,
bank that specializes in making things up as they go.
They're sort of a union, right?
That's right. Well, union of sorts, I suppose.
Yeah.
You know, they're married to idiocy, yeah. So the problem that we were encountering was this promissory note, and the financials that I was sharing with both of them indicated there was not going to be a $25,000 obligation within means. So they had arrived at this based on the financials that I provided. They said he had, I can't remember the number, say $1,000, I think it was, discretionary income that he had every month that they thought he could apply towards his note. And I indicated that wasn't true. So what I did was, as I said, he had 4 children and 2 ex-wives. I went to the ex-wives and asked them to write a letter
About how awful of a person he is?
well, first of all, they came to me and said, Tony, that's his name, Tony, is a great father, and not everything shows up on paper. So, you know, as the itemized, we prepare it, it shows child support or expenses. Now, they live in 3 different states. You flew a lot, that's an expense, it doesn't show up on paper, you can't write off. Christmas presents, birthday presents. So he wrote, I asked the 2 ex-wives to write a letter indicating how great father he was and how he contributed more than would show up on paper. You know,
That's a good outback strategy right there.
That's definitely a good one.
I like that.
And to further the point, because I was losing frustrations and I didn't want to hear any counters without absolutely having everything, I had his children write a note in crayon to accentuate the points that it was important they accept this short sale so that Daddy wouldn't be living on the streets.
So the children wrote a hardship letter, for lack of a better term,
Yes,
in crayon.
they did. It was not a 4610 approved template, but
Okay.
hopefully you can implement that one.
Got it.
Just please help my daddy.
Got it.
You know,
And to say, how did this short sale end? Let's tell the ending.
It was approved.
It was approved with
approved.
no...
There was a note, but okay, to begin with, it was $50,000, and I already said no to that.
Okay.
And then they said okay, and then I said no to the second one.
Okay.
And they said okay, serious, so we need a little bit more than that than just no.
Okay.
So it got all the way down. He still had to pay the note, but 60-70% of that's what they asked for.
Got it.
And he was okay. And he was okay with that. I mean, he knew he had to do something for it. It's a $150,000 deficiency, and he's on the hook for 10% of that. So he was within reason.
So if you ever find yourself in a position where you go, I don't know what to do, it's time for you to think Outback. You know, we don't necessarily want everybody around the country to start having their clients' children write hardship letters
It's
in Crown.
not part of the pre-qual package. It really
Because,
isn't.
you know, it just might kind of dilute the outback and awesomeness of that idea, but the point is you were willing to go there, and I love that.
God forbid people get competitive and my kids' drawing's better than yours. We don't want to get in there.
Wow.
Wow. This could let's wrap this up. This might go bad fast.
Here we go, Adam. Wrap it up with me. 1, 2, 3. Short sale power hour. Short sale power hour. In Crown. Crush it.